Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the free Lumineth fighter cards and abilities for Warcry. Earlier this week, the Warhammer community team released an article giving us some free Lumineth cards and abilities for Warcry, and that's included with the Lumineth based brand new campaign. So I thought in this video we could take a quick look at the campaign and have a look at the fight cards and abilities that they've given away, and then compare that to the ones that are already included in the Sentinels of Order book and just see how that's improved on what was included, because it's certainly improved on the abilities and given us a lot more fighters to choose from. So let's dive in and take a look at the article now. And here's the article, and this was released on the 28th of April, so a couple of days ago this came out, and this brings the Lumineth to Warcry with free fight cards and a new campaign. So each month, if you don't know already, they're releasing a campaign for Warcry, and it's usually like up to maybe 3 or 4 different battles in the kind of mini campaign. And what it's doing is it's kind of promoting the Age of Sigmar, start collecting sets, Age of Sigmar models, and it's given us the fighter cards so we can start using them in the game. It's really cool because one of the previous ones gave us a chance to use a chariot in Warcry and gave us a fighter card for the chariot. So it's really opening up some of those bigger, more unusual models that you wouldn't expect to see with the usual Warcry warbands that have been released. So really interested to see what we're going to get with the Lumineth this month. So let's scroll down and take a quick look. And so here we go, and we're getting some nice images straight away of these Lumineth. At first I thought they were a bit weird with these strange pointy hats and horns, but once I built and painted them and kind of got used to the idea, I soon settled in. But I don't think I'll be buying any of these. I've got the Lumineth that came with Underworlds, so I kind of like those, but I don't like them enough to really put together a warband just yet, but maybe in the future I will. But here we go. So in this article, it's telling us that we're going to get a PDF that we can download, and then we can use that, which will give us a total of 19 fighter cards to choose from. So that's really good. And then we can put together a vast array of Lumineth warbands for battles. And they say, for example, you could focus on the Hurricane Temple and have a band of Hurricane Wind Chargers led by a Hurricane Wind Mage, or you could take the new Venari Lord Regent to lead a mixed warband into battle. And no matter what the style and theme of your Lumineth band, the Venari Blade Lords make for a tempting option too, with their powerful quad ability, which is called Perfect Strike. And we'll go through all the abilities a little later on, but this is giving us a taste of what we're going to get. And then it talks a little bit about the campaign, which is called the Forlorn Hope, which we'll have a quick look through now. This is going to see them taking on the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Hopefully I'm saying that right now. I was saying Ossiarch before, but I hear it's Ossiarch Bonereapers. So there we go, another great image. And this is going to give us the link to download. And I'll put a link to this article in the description below. So if you want to go and download this to play, then you can find it really easily. So let's have a look at it now then, and we'll have a deep dive into the campaign and then really look at the abilities and fighter cards that come with it. So this month we've got a 4-page PDF to download. 2 double pages are going to be for the actual campaign, and then we're going to get another double page and a single page that are going to be for the fighter cards and the abilities. So here we go. Here's the outline of the campaign. It's called the Forlorn Hope, and it says here that after his defeat at the Black Pit Realm Gate, Arkan the Black moves his efforts to the Gates of Paradox in Outer Haxia and prepares his ritual of corruption once more. Situated within the Desert of Ending, the land around this portal is so rife with raw magic, it is inhospitable to any mortal. However, there is one among the Lumineth who is indeed no mere mortal. Eltharion, an elven spirit made of light manifest, sets out to defeat Arkham upon the realm's edge. So that's the introduction to the campaign, and I'm not going to read through the whole campaign this time, but let's just have a quick overview. This is basically a narrative campaign for 2 players, with one taking control of the Lumineth and one taking control of the Ossiarch. And so you can choose with your friends, whoever's got those models, who's going to play which ones. And then kind of the setup is pretty standard actually. It's using the twist cards that are included. So really like straightforward with 1,000 points to muster your warband. but you're going to get, in addition, the Warband's going to include the Light of Eltharion as a leader, and that's not going to cost any more points. And here's that fighter card here, so you can use this really cool model. It's a great model, and he's going to come with his own double ability, and he's going to be the leader. So this is going to be the leader for the Warband that you choose. And so straight away, this guy's stats are great. I don't know if it's down in the fighter cards, we'll find out later, but just having a quick read through now, you can see that he's got 32 wounds, toughness 5, movement 5, he's got that leader ability, and then he's got a weapon range of 1, he can make 5 attacks, strength 5, dealing 3 to 6 on a crit. So points wise, something like this is going to be, you know, easily around 250 maybe, so we'll have a look later on. But this double ability, the Searing Darts of Light, you pick a visible enemy fighter, within 9 inches of this fighter, roll a number of dice equal to half the value of the ability, rounded up, and for each 4+, allocate a whopping 3 damage points to that fighter. So a nice ability there for a double, and a good set of statistics really. So yeah, so you get this card straight away included in the campaign, and that's all within the setup. And then you'll see on this other page here, we've got the victory cards and conditions, and then you've also got this edition called the Nightmare Predator, which brings in this really cool model that's from the Endless Spells packs of the Ossiarch Bonereapers. And that's such a great pack. It comes with this kind of bird, and then you get this, and you get this other kind of pyramid, floating pyramid. And I think this is probably one of the best looking spell packs that I've seen. So, and I haven't looked at them all, but for the ones I have seen, this looks great. I'd even consider picking this up because this looks really fun. And with this Nightmare Predator, you're going to get some specific rules, and it's going to get its own triple ability called Summon Nightmare Predator. And so it's quite long. There's a few conditions in there that we need to meet, but that's going to be a key element of playing this. So that's really nice. And then we've got the Aftermath sequence to go through, and like a lot of these like mini campaigns they seem to be doing, if you lose a player, they're lost for the rest of the campaign. So that's really cool. I like that. I like playing these like short ones where you really can suffer some damage, so there's no time to muster any reinforcements. So I really like that. If they're slain, you just continue without them. So that's really a great part of this, and really kind of like puts the kind of feeling that you're really up against it. Maybe you're going to change your tactics because of that. I don't know, but I really like that. And then we go down to the final battle. So there's going to be a third battle of the campaign. Uses a specific battle plan called the Gates of Paradox, and that's going to be detailed down here. So you can see we've got another double page, and then we've got that whole page dedicated to the Gates of Paradox. And so that's going to give us all our deployment. It's going to tell us what to do about the terrain, the twist, give us a little introduction, and then also the victory condition. But you're also going to get this guy, then he's going to feature now in the end, Archon the Black. And this guy again looks mad. The model's really great. This is one of the bigger models, and you can see he's already got the gargantuan rune mark on his card, but he's coming in, no points value, he's just going to be included, but he's got 50 wounds that he can take. He's got toughness 4, a movement 8, he can fly, he's gargantuan, and he's got the leader rune mark. His weapon is a range of 2, or up to 2, and he can attack, it says here, with teeth, so this horse beast he's riding on can get stuck in as well. He can make 4 attacks, strength 5, dealing 3 to 6 on a crit, so he can put some out, but certainly he can travel and take some damage. And his quad is called Curse of Years, and for this we pick a visible enemy fighter within 9 inches of this fighter and roll a number of dice equal to double the value of this ability. For each roll that equals or exceeds the toughness characteristic of that fighter, allocate 3 damage points to that fighter. The Light of Eltharion cannot be targeted by this ability. Okay, so this is quite cool. I haven't seen this little mechanic before. We can now roll a number of dice to double the value of the ability and then work that against the toughness characteristic. So this reminds me of how we go up against breaking down the doors in Catacombs, where we go against, I think it's strength we go against with a dice roll. So I like that. That's a nice new mechanic, and I like it when they put new little mechanics into the abilities. And I've started to do that for the Patreon channel. Each month I put out some fighter cards for models that you wouldn't expect to see in Warcry, and I rewrite them with new stats I give them different abilities, and I try and come up with something that's a little bit different. Like last month in April, I did it where instead of having to be within 6 inches of the leader to use an ability, I wanted this werewolf to be like a beast that ran onto the battlefield, and he had to be 6 inches away from another friendly fighter, and so that encourages you to push him out on his own, and that could have some interesting dynamics. So I really like it that they're bringing in these new mechanics and twists here. So you're going to get this fighter card here. So if you play Ossiarch Bonereapers, then you're going to be able to use Archon the Black now, which is really cool. And then over here, this is just for the different locations, and let it just focus properly. There we go. And this is just going to give you the kind of setbacks, rewards, and things like that. So this is all to do with like the aftermath sequence, I guess. So that's pretty much a nice 2 double pages to play a nice little mini campaign. And so if you like either the Ossiarch Bonereapers or you like Lumineth and are looking to collect them, then this is going to be really fun. But now let's scroll down and let's take a look at the abilities now. And so this has definitely grown from the abilities that were included in the book. So the Sentinels of Order Warcry supplement book. So you're getting a lot more abilities now, a lot more leader abilities and fighter abilities. So this is really great. And also notice that you're getting a ton of leader options. So if we look at the fighter cards on the right, straight away, all 12 of those have got the leader rune mark. And then as we scroll down, we're getting 7 fighters. So we're going to get 12 leaders to choose from and 7 fighters. So we could go with a leader and a hero. So that means we could only really pick 2 from this whole page for each warband. And then we've got an option of 7 different fighters then that we could mix and match with and add to. So, the community, Warhammer community guys are kind of coming up with the idea that you could maybe theme it. So you pick a Venari Lord Regent who's mounted, and then maybe you pick as your leader, and then maybe you come down and you pick some Dawn Riders to go with him, or you pick like all the same infantry kind of minis. So, I like to mix it up though and just chop and change, so have a real nice variety rather than having one leader and then 7 of the same. I think it's nice to have all different ones, so a nice mix. So maybe one on a beast, maybe one that can fly, a couple who can move far, and a couple who are more like your tanks who can't move quite that distance. So yeah, so you've got a few options here. You've got a few options here, but a lot of leaders though. So I'm noticing this, you're getting a lot of leaders in these different AOS warbands. So I'd like to see more fighters, so have more fighter options, because only being able to take 2 of these leaders per warband, it seems a shame when there's so many. Out of 19, 12 of those are going to be the leader option. But let's take a look and have a side-by-side comparison of the abilities we get here and the abilities that we get in the book, and we'll just see how many they've given us and how they've improved them. And here we go. So on the right hand side, as you look at the screen, you can see that this is the Sentinels of Order book, and so in there we're getting 7 abilities, and these are the original abilities for the Lumineth in Warcry, and 4 of those abilities are leadership abilities. 1 is the mounted. That only left 2 regular fighter abilities. Sorry. So if you go for a leader and they're not mounted, then that only gave you 2 other options for your fighters. But now on the left we can see the free abilities they've given us in that PDF, and so now we've got 6 abilities for our fighters, and then we've got 6 for our leaders, and those leader ones are mixed up with different rune marks so that we can choose different styles of leaders, and that's going to influence our gameplay. So this is loads better now. It looks like they've changed the first one. Oh no, the first one's the same. So the double shining company, that's kind of stayed. So they've kept that one. So this is going to be the one that's going to run throughout. And they've also kept mountain stunts. But you can see we've got 4 new fighter abilities now. Another double, a triple, and a quad. So this is really great. And lots of options there. So this is really going to give us a lot more kind of gameplay and really add to the fun, because I think just having 7 abilities with 4 of them being leaders and 1 of them being mounted, that wasn't really enough, and it never really appealed to me. But now this is certainly going to open it up, and with so many more models being released recently for the Lumineth Realm Lords, this is great that they're kind of bringing that into Warcry. I guess this is the direction we're going in now too, rather than bringing out any new sets for Warcry from the models. They're just going to encourage us to buy the Age of Sigmar ones, and then maybe give us free cards and abilities, and perhaps update these Warcry supplement books each year. So I guess we'll wait and see how it's going to pan out and what the future's going to hold for Warcry. Hopefully they'll bring out some more sets though. It's been really quiet since last December, so I'm hoping next week in this Warhammer Fest online we'll see some Warcry releases. Hopefully terrain, but yeah, wait and see. But there we go. So that's given us loads of options for our fighters. We got more options for our leaders now, so it's really improved, and it's taken us from 7 abilities altogether to 12 abilities, so loads better. I'm really happy with that. And again, you can download this PDF for free, so you can check out these abilities in detail, and I'll probably do a deep dive on the Lumineth in a later video, so we can look at all the fighter types in detail, compare them to the models and the prices on the Games Workshop website, and then look at the different abilities and see what warbands that we could piece together with them. So there we go. That's the fighter abilities and the leader abilities. So now let's take a look and see how they've improved the fighter cards. And here's our fighter cards. So on the very right hand side, you'll see there's 11 fighter cards, and that's in the Sentinels of Order Warcry supplement book. But now we've got 19 fighters altogether on the picture on the left and the picture in the middle. So that's given us a lot more now. So we've gone from 11 to 19. We've got 8 new fighters, and whereas before we had, how many did we have? 6. We had 6 leader options. Now we've got 12. And we had 5 options for our fighters, but now we've got 7. So this is really improved now. So this is much better. And, you know, having just 11 fighters to choose from seemed a little bit limited. Although, when we think about it, I suppose, all the Warcry original warbands were quite limited, with maybe some even having 7 or 8 fighter types and only 1 leader to choose from. So this really gives us a lot more options though. But I think when we're looking at the Age of Sigmar sets and a variety of models, we really do expect to get a lot more fighter cards. So it's a nice little update, really. Nice freebie for us to get started, especially if you like Lumineth. This is really good. And so, yeah, you've got a lot more leaders now. So you've got 6 more leaders to choose from. So this is going to give you a lot of different ways you can go in with your warband. And, you know, you can go with a mounted leader, you can go with a mystic kind of figure, or you can choose someone who's tough. So you've got all the different rune marks for the different leaders, which are going to expose to all those different abilities. But I think this is going to be one of those warbands where you go with a leader and then you pick a hero. So you pick another one of these fighters with the leader rune mark and use them as your hero within the warband. So really happy with this. And I can't wait to put together a little deep dive and compare the prices and see just how much it'll cost to put together a warband for the Lumineth. Those sets, I think, are good because you don't get too many miniatures in them. I think most of them are like maybe 5. The infantry ones certainly. So you don't have to have tons of miniatures you're not going to use if you only play Warcry. So I think that's going to be good for these. But we'll find out when I do that deep dive. So there we go. That's the nice side-by-side comparison of the fighter cards that we had originally in the book and now the new fighter cards they've released for free in this downloadable PDF. I'd love to know what you think about these new Warcry campaigns they're releasing each month, and now they're starting to give us lots more fighter cards and abilities for the new Age of Sigmar models. Is this something you're happy with? Do you like the direction we seem to be going in with Warcry, or do you miss those card packs and the cards that come in the Warcry warband sets? Because I know I like having those cards. But yeah, it'd be great to hear what you think, so join in the comments section below. It'd be awesome to hear from you, and I'll put a link to this article where you can go and download the PDF for free. I'll put that in the description, and I'll also put a link to Element Games so you can check out some of the discounted Lumineth sets on there, and there'll be affiliate links, but it won't cost you anything extra. In fact, you can save up to 20% there on all your game produce, and for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission, and that helps me do loads of videos like this, and I really appreciate that support, so thanks so much for that. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there. I hope you enjoyed the video and you get to download this and check out all the different fighter cards and abilities. I think it's really cool that we can access this now and add it to our game. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.